2023 has come and gone right here in Viva Las Vegas, Nevada. So what were the top 10 worst things to happen this year? What were the top 10 best things that happened this year? We can combine them together, alternate in between, starting with the worst so we can end with the best. And I'm going to try to limit my ranting because you know how I can get. So, number 10, worst thing to happen in Las Vegas in 2023 is, drumroll please, you're probably not still subscribed to me. So if you can, please do me a solid, click subscribe below because it really does help the channel. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs this year and all the other good stuff. If you can like it, if you can share it, hit the bell icon. Shameless plug over. So the 10th best thing to happen in Las Vegas in 2023 was all the rain and snow that we got. I know that sounds like a weird one. You're like, oh, come on, it's about the fun stuff, the tourism stuff. But I cannot overstate how important getting good rainfall is. We're in the desert, we're in a drought. Now, Las Vegas is on the forefront of water conservation, so we're doing pretty good, but a lot of the areas around us are not. And the rainfall and the snow that we got helped the Colorado River, helped Lake Mead, thus helped the Hoover Dam, thus helped all the different states who benefit from the Hoover Dam, and including Las Vegas, of course. The number 9 worst thing to happen, Tropicana. Tropicana, for those of you who are out of state or out of city and don't know what that is, basically, they're redoing all the on and off ramps at the intersection of the I-15 and Tropicana. And so they're calling it Tropicana, and it's just causing such a headache, and it's going to be going on for years. You combine that with F1, with the Super Bowl coming, with the fact they're going to start building a stadium on Tropicana and Las Vegas Boulevard, not that far off from Tropicana in the near future. It's just, oh my God, what a headache. Vegas doesn't really have that bad of traffic, but around there, and the I-15 is backed up for miles in either direction at all times of day now as a result. Oh, friggin' headache. I know it's worth it in the end. It's going to increase traffic flow, expand the lanes, allow trucks to go underneath that couldn't before, blah, 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 blah. But right now, whoa, does it suck. Number 9, best thing to happen, the Las Vegas Thrill. Professional women's volleyball team announcement. They're going to be playing over at the Dow Loan Center in Henderson. Super excited for that. It's really the one professional sport that isn't overshadowed for women by the men's professional sports. And I'm not trying to say that they're not as good. I'm just saying it's just the facts. So I'm really excited for it. But I got to say, the Las Vegas Thrill, did no one really think through the name and team branding for that? Because like, you have a women's team and you want to call them the Thrill? I don't know. Thrill in Las Vegas gives a negative connotation. I don't love the name. I don't love the branding because it kind of looks like the New York Liberty WNBA team that the Vegas Aces defeated this year for the championship. So I don't really feel like anything about the name and the branding screams Vegas. But ultimately, it comes down to the players, the coaches, and how well they do in their season. It's a short season, but hopefully it expands. And I'm super excited for it. I hope to be there on opening day. The Vegas Thrill, hopefully they capture the heart of the city as a homegrown team. Okay, the number 8 worst thing to happen. It's not exclusive to 2023, but it's all the damn resort fees. They just keep going up, and they keep expanding to more and more casinos. What a pain in the patootie. And I know that the president, and I'm not getting political, but he has mentioned trying to do away with all the extra fees, not just for Vegas hotels, but in general. You know they're just going to raise the prices then. They can call it resort fees. They can call it part of the nightly rate. They're never going away. They upcharge you for things you may not use. You know, pools that aren't open during the winter for a lot of these hotels. Wi-Fi that sucks. It's a huge drain on the individual, and in a time like these financial times, which we'll get to later, they're just not good. Okay, moving on to something good. Number 8, best thing to happen, all the renovations. I particularly love how the New York renovated their hotel rooms. I love the New York, and I feel like it's the best budget hotel that continually updates and doesn't get stale, except their sportsbook, it sucks. And they didn't really update the bathrooms as well as they could have, but like the rooms themselves look absolutely très magnifique, stunning. I love the renovations they did where they created the passageway between Vdara and the Cosmopolitan, thus linking the Bellagio and right next to Aria. That's great. They finally gotten rid of that stank-ass Hawaiian market. And of course, the Rio. The Rio is under renovation. Let's see if they can save that once great property. I have my doubts, but that awaits to be seen. But all the renovations and the money being put in it is great. Number 7 worst thing to happen is going to be controversial. The MSG Sphere. I mean, it wouldn't be a James Dolan project if it wasn't an absolute disaster. It is. They lost about $98 million in their first month. The CFO had to resign. Look, this is what happens when an IMAX in a planetarium, have a love child, and then charge people way too much money to check it out. It's a great experience the first time you go. Not that I've gone yet, but for my friends who have, but it's super pricey. Yeah, you can talk to some robot AIs, and yeah, you can see a beautiful, basically IMAX planetarium show, but you know, it'll be great if they can get people like Beyonce, God help me, Taylor Swift, Usher, or Bruno Mars in there and really, really get those residencies going. But it's a slow start, and it was over $1 billion over budget, and it messes up traffic, and it's led to casinos charging parking that hadn't previously. We're going to get to that. It's kind of a disaster, in my opinion. Sure, it looks great. It looks phenomenal from afar, but I think the verdict is still out on the Sphere, and it's not worth the cost. Verdict is out. I don't think it's a particularly good thing for Vegas. Fight me in the comment section. Have at it. I'm looking at my list. The number 7 greatest thing to happen in Vegas this year. All the new Vegas YouTubers. Some really great new ones like Jaybird Vegas, who just fill with all this information, passion for the city. And my favorite new vlogger, Caroline Lopez. She has changed the game as far as showing properties and apartments in Las Vegas. If you're looking for an apartment and like the luxury high end, go to her channel. I've linked it below. And when you're looking for a new apartment or you're looking to move here, she is going to be your number 1 resource. There are countless others. Of course, all the established veterans in the game, all amazing, the YouTubers, new and old. I move on to the number 6. And number 6, worst and best things to come to Vegas. It's kind of an oxymoron, Shane is saying, but the A's. The Oakland A's becoming the Las Vegas A's. It's been approved by MLB. I think it's both the worst and the best thing at number 6 to happen. I say worst because the stadium process is a mess. They've allocated far too small an area in the Tropicana Hotel site for the stadium. I has to increase. The relocation of yet another Oakland team, screwing the Oakland fans. We want a baseball team here, but we want a homegrown team. But we're not going to get that. We're getting the A's. And I think there'll be a little bit more goodwill towards them because their AAA team, the Aviators, is here in Summerlin. And because it just doesn't come with the drama that the Raiders come with. All the public funds being allocated from our tax dollars to go towards the stadium, that's a pain in the ass. But then it's also a plus because we're getting a baseball team. Yeah, Vegas becoming a sports town is great. You know, yes, it sucks because all the employees of Tropicana are going to have to find new employment once they tear it down. But then there's also going to be jobs created as far as construction goes and jobs created at the stadium and event. It's going to be an event venue just like Allegiant is, just like T-Mobile. So it's teetering between good and bad. And of course, over time, we'll see if they put money into the team and it becomes an ultimately really good thing. We shall see, but I am excited for the A's to come here. It's a few years off, but it's been announced officially and will be approved in 2023. Okay, since we did worst and best, we can go back to the worst. Number 5, paid parking at the Venetian Palazzo / Wynn and Encore. This is because of the Sphere. You could bank on safe, clean, plentiful parking for free on the Strip at those 4, really 2 properties, and now you can't. And sure, locals still get 3 hours free. That's wonderful. Please don't take that away. In financial times like these, to charge people to go to the Strip, tourist or local, it sucks, and it's because of the Sphere. I understand why they did it, because people aren't going to park at the Sphere. They're going to park there for free. Sure, wonderful, whatever, great. It's just not a good thing. Okay, number 5, a best thing to happen in Las Vegas 2023. The Durango Hotel and Casino opening in the Enterprise Southwest area, Locals Casino. It's a beauty. The rates are really high because they don't have a lot of rooms, like 200 something. Hopefully those go down. You know, it's very recently open, but it's a beautiful property. You know, it's bright, it's airy. The sunlight you get, the sports book is insane. Good food, good vibes, they treat you well, you feel welcomed, free parking, and it's going to thrive. And it took 2 decades to be made finally, but it's going to thrive where it is because that part of town just keeps expanding and around it, and it's going to be a locals haven. Trade magnifique, the Durango. Number 4, worst thing to happen. The homeless rates keep increasing. from 5,645 estimated in 2002 to 6,556 in 2023. That's just going to rise in 2024. As you know, if you watch this channel, I volunteer with Homeless Youth weekly, and the homelessness is a cause near and dear to my heart to try to tackle and prevent and help those suffering. And it's really unfortunate, and there's a whole slew of factors that go into it that we're not going to get into here, but it's definitely something that needs closer attention, more funding, and more effort put in to cure. How can I transition? I need to. All right, number 4 best thing to happen. The Las Vegas Aces WNBA team repeated back-to-back championships, 2022, 2023. I wish I could put this higher, but it's probably, for the majority of people, too high on this list because no one pays attention to the WNBA, and that's unfortunate because they're a great team, and they killed it this year. They beat my hometown Liberty. It's amazing that the first professional sports team to win a championship in Vegas are also the first to go back-to-back, and I hope that their popularity continues to grow. And it's just, hey, the Aces, back-to-back championships. That's always great for a city. Number 3 worst thing to happen. Inflation. I've been beating around the bush with all the financial stuff and the parking to funding for the A Stadium to, the Sphere and everything. It's just, and resort fees. Inflation is killing not just Vegas, but everywhere else. And sure, rates seem to be going down, and my God, but you feel it here. It's still a very affordable city compared to, where I came from, New York or LA or someplace like that. But you're feeling it in the wallet, in the pocketbook, everything you do and everywhere you go, from, gas to the grocery store shopping to everything. You're feeling it, and it hurts a city based on tourism if people can't afford to go there. And there's no income tax here, but they get you in other ways. And inflation is tourism has been good here, but how long can that last if inflation continues to get worse? I don't know. I'm not an economist, but tell me below, what do you think? How do you think inflation is going to affect Vegas in 2024? And how do you feel it did in 2023? Please tell me below. Comment. Basically, I'm begging you to comment. Get the algorithm going. Okay, number 3, best thing to happen in Las Vegas. The Fontainebleau finally opening after just about 20 years. I'm not going to lie to you. This is my opinion alone. When I was there, not all that impressed with it. It's not particularly aesthetically pleasing. You can have a gazillion bow ties. It's what it is. They're trying to be the Fontainebleau from Miami. Institution is the Fontainebleau in Miami. They got a long way to go to make that here. They seem to be catering to the 1% at this Fontainebleau here in Las Vegas. And really, given their location, right across from Circus Circus, a long walk from the Wynn and Encore, not too far from Resorts World, but that's also not exactly a destination for folks, a quarter mile before the Sahara and so forth. No crossover bridges. They really have to get the blue collar worker there, and they need to treat the blue collar worker better, in my opinion, and hopefully they will learn from their mistakes. I put it as number 3 best thing because at the end of the day, I want it to be a success. As much as the little devil inside of me laughs when things fail, I want it to be a success because that means more jobs, better for the economy, better for the locals. It can help. So many people lost their jobs during the pandemic. People were rehired, got fired. It's stabilizing the economy, much like Durango. At least hopefully it will stabilize the economy. Hopefully there'll be foot traffic. Hopefully it'll become a destination and they will entice the common person to go there. They need to do that, and then it can really be a success. But at least it gets a number 3 here because it's been so anticipated and so long coming. Number 2 worst thing to happen in Vegas. You knew this was coming. F1. I have my issue with F1 and the trees being ripped up and the street closures, and sure, they're paving the strip and they're going to repave the strip for next year to make sure it's pristine and perfect while the rest of the roads around the city suffer. And that's the thing. All this effort is being put towards F1, and it was with the promise that it would boost the economy. It would do 2, 3, 4 times better than the Super Bowl is anticipated to do. And it didn't. Sure, for the billionaire. Sure, for the big corporation. For the common person, who I said in my Festivus video, their commute went from 20 minutes to 3 hours. It didn't help them. Some dealers made out with extra chips and tips and whatnot. Most didn't. A lot of local businesses are going to fold, go under. Had to fire over half their staff because there was no foot traffic, no road traffic. Places that have been there for decades, who people poured their heart and soul into, all for some cars to race for an hour. It ain't worth it. Sure, F1 can give a discounted merchandise after the fact to the locals. That doesn't make up for nothing. F1 was not positive for the city, in my opinion. Fight me below. Number 2 best thing to happen in Vegas is the announcement of the plans for Hollywood to come here. This might be coming out of left field, but I think it's a great thing. We have all this space, and it's over in Summerlin and the Enterprise area and whatnot. Build studios. You already have a ton of people moving here, like Marky Mark and whatnot. You know, Mark Wahlberg. Okay, if he sees this, I don't not hire him because I call him Marky Mark. It's a term of endearment. Anyway, I got those good vibrations for this. I think it's going to be a great thing. If it happens, Hollywood studios to come here with the tax breaks, it incentivizes Hollywood to come. It can create jobs. I absolutely love the arts. I love film and television. That's my background. And to see it come here and it can nurture in the community, and hopefully will. Kids who normally, would have to move someplace else could have an opportunity here to intern, to grow, to have an opportunity. It can only build. And I think, the way North Carolina and Georgia have built up their film industry through the years, Vegas can be that next spot. And the strikes are over, and that can be a huge, huge boost to the economy, to the art scene. I'm really excited for that. I really hope it happens in a positive way for the town. The number 1 worst thing to happen was, of course, the UNLV shooting. And 3 individuals lost their lives. I hope I don't butcher these names. Chajan Jerry Chang, Patricia Navarro Velez, and Naoko Takamura. I believe I said those names correctly. I apologize if I didn't. They lost their lives. Others were injured. And it's, what can you say other than it's an absolute travesty. And it's truly the worst thing to happen. It's not the flashy worst thing to happen. Like, I could have put F1 there and put this as an addendum thing, but no, it deserves the top spot because any loss of life is tragic. And it's not just the violence that happened at UNLV. It's all the gun violence and all violence in the parts of the city, especially the east side, that suffer from high crime rates. So it's not just UNLV, it's all the crime and all those who lose their lives and suffer because of violence. And also tacked onto that, unfortunately, the sex trafficking that goes on here, which, there's many good documentaries online about trying to help rescue women, especially from being forced to be working women. There are locations and garages here that are known for being hot spots for kidnappings of children, of all genders and women especially, and any violence and any harm to any human is horrible, and it gets number 1 spot because unfortunately it's fairly prevalent here. Okay, and the top best thing to happen, tacking on to violence and gun violence, the Vegas Golden Knights hockey team winning their first championship. Why do I connect those two? Because even though I wasn't here for the October 1st, 2017 mass shooting, I know a decent amount about it, and I've spoken to people who were here, locals, natives here, who say that the first time that it felt okay to smile again was when the Golden Knights began in their inaugural season just after October 1st in 2017. And there was an almost unofficial end to the mourning process when they won their championship, to the point where they had the names of the victims hanging at the parade celebration and read their names. And the excitement that this city felt. And it was just a collective celebration. And it was like nothing you can experience in New York because we have so many teams that we're all divided. Here, everyone is united behind the banner of the Vegas Golden Knights. And that is the number 1 best thing to happen in Vegas in 2023, in my opinion. Tell me where I was right, where I was wrong, where you agree, what you didn't know about, in the comments below. And here's to a great 2024 Las Vegas. Hopefully more beautiful things and best things than worst. And I thank you for watching. I appreciate you for watching. I love you for watching. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you in the next one, either this year or in 2024.